days-long crisis for the entire region. The city released its preliminary after-action report, a third-party investigation based on interviews with DPU staff, visits to the plant, and available records. Richmond reporter Madison McNamee has read through it all. And Maddie, what did you find?
Riley, this gives us the most detail we have seen yet when it comes to what exactly those operators were dealing with when there were outages and 6 feet of flooding. The report lays out a detailed timeline showing power outages may have happened earlier than we initially thought. Interviews with DPU staff revealed they had no formal safety training and a lack of training manuals and procedures. The report writes most safety measures were communicated through on-the-job training and reminders.
It's something that the team has been working on, building consistency around.
This 13-page report validating a lot of what people had suspected. Staff were not properly trained, backup systems were not working how they should in an emergency, and communication was not quick enough. The city's water treatment plant had its first power issue around 4:25 a.m. At 5:45, it lost power entirely, and the IT system went down too. Operators noticed it flooding around 5:50, and in just 5 minutes, the plant would look like this, with 6 feet of water. Dominion was notified at 6:45. VDH got there at 12:30, but a boil water advisory wasn't issued until around 4:30 p.m.
We've also done a look at our standard operating procedures and starting to practice both the communication pathways and the emergency response pathways if the event were to happen again.
Technical diagrams show the plant was not on summer mode, a power flow model that should be used during any storm. 6th District Councilwoman Ellen Robertson still going through all of it.
My understanding is that some of the recommendations in the report are things that we have already recognized, and some of those things are already in process.
But even with all of these details, this preliminary report is still just scratching the surface of the issues at the plant.
Henrico, for example, used WRA, who is a firm that has been embedded deeply in our water treatment plant for years and years, and so that's why they were able to hit the ground running a little bit faster and have a more comprehensive report ready much sooner.
The investigation stems from 14 interviews, most of which come from the Department of Public Utilities. Former DPU Director April Bingham is not one of the people included.
The report that has been released is really just a preliminary look at sequencing, like what happened, what was the sequence of events, and then we will have a much more robust report that comes out in a couple of weeks.
Now, the firm behind the report also laid out a list of recommendations for the city and the plants to make to try to prevent this from happening again. One of them includes adding a 4th operator to have on hand acting as a floater in case of emergency. Mayor Danny Avula will be holding a press conference tomorrow morning at 9. We will have a live team there bringing you the coverage as it comes in. Live in Richmond tonight, Madison McNamee, 12 on your side.
Thank you, Maddie. And now let's